Welcome everyone to a little preview of our panels at Changing Currents in Employment Law this year on October 29th of 2019 from 6 to 9 p.m. at the DC Bar. Today we have Mikael Rojas of Outten Golden, and your panel is on artificial intelligence. Before we get there, maybe just a little bit about you, because you're from the West Coast, right? But now you've come out to Washington. Tell us a little about your background and what brought you here.
Sure. So I went from Washington State to Washington, D.C. I grew up in the Yakima Valley in Washington.
Where's the Yakima Valley?
It's about 3 hours east of Seattle. So it's right in the middle of beautiful orchard country and wine country. It's home to a lot of hardworking people, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to become an employment lawyer and a civil rights lawyer, and that really set the stage for my whole life and career.
And your family's still in Washington?
My whole family's still back home. I'm the black sheep. I ended up about 2,500 miles away from everyone else, but I still get back home to see them, and yeah, they get out to see me once in a while as well.
Well, Mikael, I want to talk a little bit about the panel on the 29th. It's on artificial intelligence, and I know that artificial intelligence is kind of the new thing, and it's supposed to kind of wring out bias maybe from the hiring process, but it's really only as good as the input, right? The kind of facts that go into the algorithm. Why is that?
I think that's for a couple of reasons. I think the great hope for AI and a lot of machine learning tools is that we can eliminate some of the inherent biases that human beings have, unfortunately. But as you just sort of explained, the software that we develop and the tools that we use is only as good as the people and the information that goes into them. And one, I think, high-profile example of where AI and the business community has suffered a setback is with Amazon's recruiting tool that was developed using current Amazon employees as the model for future recruits to the company. And because of the male-dominated nature of the company and of the industry, the tool sought out other male candidates over female candidates. And it actually ended up penalizing words like women's chess club or all women's colleges. And Amazon disbanded the use of that tool because of the bias that it saw being reflected in its use.
It must have been a public relations nightmare.
I think it was, and there's plenty of publicity on it. And I think this issue is flashing across the headlines pretty much every day.
So tell us a little about your panel. You will be presenting on AI. And let's say I'm in the audience. I don't know a whole lot about it, right? Just give us a sense of what I might see on the panel.
Sure. So I'm presenting with Meredith Schramm-Strosser from Mendelson. I work at Outten Golden, which is a plaintiff side firm. Littler, of course, is a great defense side firm in employment issues. So we'll hope to do our best to represent both perspectives. And we'll talk about some of the cutting edge issues in this area. But we'll hope to define the terms well to begin with as well. Artificial intelligence can be used in a lot of different ways in hiring. It can be used to narrow applicant pools. It can be used as an affirmative recruiting device. It can be used to assess applicant performance in interviews and other application materials. So I hope we'll walk through each of those different uses for AI and talk about potential benefits, the potential risks from an EEO perspective, and otherwise. And we'll just hope to do a good overview of all those things.
So it sounds like from what you're saying that it really could be a time saver. I mean, if done right, it could save an HR department a lot of time.
Yeah, I think that's the big hope. Hiring is expensive, and it's time consuming, and it's difficult, and it's also a competitive process. So employers always want to be able to be more efficient, to be more competitive, and if you have a machine or a software that can help you do that, that can be a great thing. We just have to watch out for the potential issues.
So let's say I'm an HR director, and I'm thinking about using AI in my business, in my company. What are maybe some of the things that I need to be careful of in implementing a program that includes AI?
I think first and foremost, this might sound obvious, but I think it's worth stating and restating, is you should be conscious and considerate of potential biased impacts or effects. I think if you want to use modern technology, you have to abide by some pretty timeless principles, and that is ensure that you're doing the best job you can to be fair and to comply with the law. I think you should look at the different case studies that are available. There's a lot of media and news sources on where AI has sort of gone wrong. So I think you should be an informed consumer of the AI technology. There's also some legal guidance that's in development. I think one area to look for in particular is the Uniform Guidelines on Selection Procedures, which are federal regulations, which sort of help give some guidance to the business community about how they should carry out their selection procedures.
Mikael, thank you.
Thank you, Scott.
We look forward to seeing all of you at Changing Currents this year on October 29th from 6 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at the DC Bar.